Hello, this is Two Kids and a Mullet Later podcast. We are Lavalea and Colby, and we are going to be talking about life, marriage, and family. Today we're going to be talking about keep chasing your partner.
Run!
Run, Forrest. So I feel like there's a huge difference in being with someone and actually acting or being in a relationship with them, and then being with someone where you just kind of like become roommates and you're just living in the same space together, but you're not really enjoying it. People get into marriages or relationships, and in the very beginning, you're like pulling out all the stops, you're putting your best foot forward, you're flirting with them, helping to build their confidence and telling them how like hot they are, how pretty they are, all that kind of stuff. And then it gets to a point where you just kind of like get way too comfortable, and then
Stop trying.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you have to keep trying. Like it's like that old saying: if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't keep fucking like putting in that same effort towards your partner or your woman, I mean, somebody else will. So,
I know. Whoop.
yeah, I mean that goes for both sides, for men and women. Like,
Right.
they're gonna find that attention, so you might as well give it to them yourself and keep that spark going. Keep all the flirtation and
As a woman, like being told by your partner, especially if you like them and you love them, being told
you got
by,
a fat ass.
I mean, yeah, tell me that all the time, please. Like when you stop and tell me like how hot you think I am, and you're just like, damn, or like, you just like can't keep your hands off me, like that just makes me feel like very loved and wanted, and like you're still chasing after me. That spark is still there,
Yeah.
even after 11 years of us being together. I feel like a lot of people lose that spark so early on, and then they just kind of continue to stay together, but they're not really enjoying being together. With younger generations, we've gotten away from like fixing things. It's just so immediate, especially with social media and stuff like that. Like people can just get on an app and find a new girlfriend. Like they can get on an app and find a hookup. They almost don't feel like they need to work hard at what they have, because they can just snap their fingers and find something else. Everyone wonders why our generation and younger, like our marriages aren't working, our relationships aren't working, but it's because nobody wants to put in the effort and the time with the partner that they already have.
They're just like doing it just for show, really, instead of something genuine.
Said this to somebody before that like there's a lot of, I know for sure, women out there who they want a wedding and not a marriage.
Yeah.
Like they want to be able to say they're married and like have all the like fun and bows and ribbons that come with it, but they don't really want to put in the effort. I mean, it goes the same with men too.
Yeah. That's the same shit with like couples on like social media and shit, like making everything look good to other people, like, and having a big fancy wedding and big old expensive ass ring and all this shit. Like, yeah, that's just for show. Don't nobody give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
That's just like, you know how I feel about Valentine's Day.
We have, you know what, I will say, as we've started to get older and like we've gone through this issue over and over again,
Yeah, it's been 11 years and it ain't changing.
I am really starting to understand now. Like it's becoming a lot more clear to me, like where you're coming from. I feel like before it was so hard for me to see where you were coming from because of always being shown in your face, like, oh, what this is what my man got me, this is what my man did for me, and all these grand gestures on social media constantly in your face.
Yeah.
So it makes I am a victim. It makes it hard to remember that, like, just because somebody isn't constantly doing those grand gestures for you for the showy part of it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they don't love you.
If you ask me, the motherfucker buying all them flowers, all them fucking more shit the motherfucker buy you on Valentine's Day, he's a piece of shit. He knows he fucking up, so that's why he's doing all that extra bullshit.
I don't know. I think that also just goes along with like love languages. Like there's just some people that gift giving is their love language, so they're going to go be very elaborate with the gifts that they give. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're a piece of shit.
No, you're a piece of shit.
It's just your love language is not gift
Okay, so
giving.
why do you wait for that one day? That's a made up fucking holiday. If you're gonna do that, do it on a fucking random ass Tuesday.
Your love languages are acts of service, words of affirmation, and physical touch. That's what I've definitely come to realize. And you doing acts of service for me is the equivalent of you buying me a bunch of roses or whatever, you know? Because, but the thing is, like you said, like, you don't just wait for one day to do those acts of service. You do those acts of service 24/7, day in and day out. So that's why I'm saying, like, as I'm starting to get older and really realize that social media can be such a mind, like, honestly, in the long run, I appreciate the acts of service more because you buy me flowers as yes, they're pretty and yes, they're nice to look at on a countertop, but me not having to even think about certain things in our life, like, my car messes up, I don't even have to think about that. Like, you're going to fix it without even telling me you're going to fix it. You're just going to go out there and do it. Or like when every time you hold the door open for me, or every time you take the grocery bags out of my hand, or anything like that. Like,
Yeah, motherfucker want to buy 2 dozen roses. He can't open a car door for his fucking girl. Piece of shit.
okay, so I have a question for you. Like, what would be your ideal way of me chasing you as a woman?
The main thing is just acting like you both still like each other, like genuinely like and love each other.
Yeah.
Coming home and if you're just, what's up, bro? Like, that your relationship's fucking done, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's constantly show love and attention, and I feel like that's really all it is.
Yeah, I feel like it's the beginning of the end when first of all, you don't want to come home to your partner. Second of all, when you do whatever it takes to not come home to your partner. So, like, you always hear those stories about guys who get off work and, like, they immediately want to go to the bar and don't want
Yeah,
to go home. Like, that's a problem. Like, that's not something that should be normalized. Like, yes, men and women, you deserve to have time to yourself and have alone time, like with your
yeah,
friends and stuff like that. But when it comes to a constant thing of you wanting to go do whatever you can, like to just not be home, like
yeah,
that's a huge issue. I feel like when you get off work, like you immediately like you want to come home
yeah.
as fast as possible. Like you sometimes about to be getting in fights in parking lots, just trying to get out of the parking lot quicker to get.
I didn't start that.
There's been times where I've gone out with like my friends, my girlfriends or whatever, and we went and had a great time or whatever, but always I am like looking forward to just coming back home to you.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
and I feel like it's supposed to be like that. Sometimes it gets to the point where I don't even want to go out and do anything because I don't want to be away from you. What
yeah.
would you give advice to like another woman in her marriage to do for her husband that you think would show flirtation and just like chasing and stuff like that?
When he gets home, just, I mean, get up, give him a hug and kiss, let him know he's doing a good job. Like, because we all got rough days, and if you blue collar and if you're away from your family a lot and all that, I mean, you want to be told you're doing a good job, just to reassure yourself that you're doing the right thing. Oh, show them your titties.
No, I like that you said that because I feel like that's a lot of I wouldn't just say blue collar men, but men in general, they don't get told that much, like how much their woman is proud of them or just like anyone is proud of them. So I feel like it's nice to hear that
Yeah,
as a man.
and then show them your titties.
Showing the titties does help.
As a man, your woman should be the finest thing you ever done seen. Like, just anytime you see her, I mean, you want, go ahead and honk, honk, honk. Like, go ahead, boy, honk. But, I mean, you should always be wanting to show your woman affection. But if you see something's wrong, I mean, you gotta talk to them, try to help them out, help them get out of that little funk. Try to do whatever you can, just make a bitch smile.
And also something that people need to stop doing is stop doing things in the beginning of your relationship that you're not planning to continue through the
Oh,
rest
yeah.
of your relationship.
Facts.
For example, like a guy in the first month, 2 months, opening your door every time, you know, carrying heavy things for you. And then 3 months, 4 months in, they're like, nah, you got it. Like, excuse me? You can't become a whole different person just
Yeah.
because time has passed, you know?
And you gotta be realistic also. Like, you going all out the first few times y'all go out or first few months, whatever, bro. People are gonna expect that to stay. Like, just like you said, the opening doors and shit. People are gonna expect it. I mean, you can't be all nice and all this shit, and then once you get some, then you switch up. Like, you ain't shit no more. Like,
Right.
nah.
It's the same thing where people are like, my husband spoiled me and now he's mad that I'm spoiled. Like,
Yeah.
like if that's the tone that you set in your marriage or your relationship from the beginning, you honestly can't be surprised when she or he is kind of like, what the fuck? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
And they're, wondering why you aren't doing those things anymore.
Yeah.
Because in their mind, they're probably thinking, oh, he's not doing that anymore because he doesn't like me or because, I did something wrong. But in reality, it could have been that they were just putting their best foot forward and weren't really trying to continue to do that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
couldn't keep up the act. So,
Just always keep wanting to be in love.
right. And that doesn't mean that there's not going to be times where your partner just like really pisses you off or annoys you or
Fuck
like
you trying to say?
like I know there's been times where you've been probably metaphorically banging your head against a wall and being like, why? In general, you should be continuously being attracted to your partner.
Not just attracted, but just wanting just to be in their presence. Like, both of you should be comfortable to just want to be together. Like, not you ain't even gotta be doing shit, bro. Just sit next to each other.
I feel like that shows like the biggest level of love is just like being so happy and excited to just do nothing with someone else.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to be talking to each other. Like just being next to you like is one of my favorite activities. If you're constantly having to go and do something with your partner, like you constantly have to be going out and doing something, I feel like that kind of shows that there is something missing.
Those are the people that like spending money together, not spending time together.
Thank you so much for watching Two Kids and a Mullet Later podcast. This has been episode 1, and we appreciate y'all being here with us. If you want to continue to be here with us, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel.